An inquest hearing into anti-apartheid activist Neil Aggett's death will resume tomorrow after being adjourned on Monday. A 1982 inquest ruled that Aggett's death was a suicide committed by way of hanging. However, the family does not believe that he committed suicide as the apartheid security branch had claimed. Today, Judge Mogotsi Makume, presiding over the inquest, led an inspection at the then John Vorster Square police station. Former police officers and inmates pointed out to the judge where prisoners were interrogated, detained and locked up.
It was through the doors of this particularly notorious police station, formerly known as the John Vorster Square, now known as the Johannesburg Central Station, where more than hundreds of political detainees were walked in here, many of them for their final time. And former political prisoner Dr. Neil Aggett, whose inquest is currently ongoing, lost his life after 70 days of incarceration here. And today, the judge in the inquest, as well as lawyers for the Aggett family, for the state, and those representing the police officers implicated in this matter, did an inspection in loco, looking through the police cells and the cell in particular that Aggett was kept in, incarcerated in, and later lost his life in what the police state then said was a suicide. They ruled it as a suicide in the inquest of 1982. Now his family is seeking answers, and they say that that initial ruling by the police was incorrect, and they're hoping justice will be found 38 years after he died and 26 years into the new advent of democracy. And his family, his sister Jill Berger, who flew from the UK to South Africa to find justice for her brother, is hoping that the courts and the South African legal system will be able to unearth all the information that had gone through the doors of the initial inquest in 1982 and had been dubbed a suicide. And she's hoping that with her legal team representing her, representing the memory of her brother, they'll be able to get to the bottom of the truth and really find out what caused the death of Dr. Neil Aggett. Neil Aggett was a medical doctor who served at the Baragwana Hospital as well as the Tembisa Hospital, treating poor black people who at the time were under the grip of the apartheid state and really had no recourse to medical facilities as well as freedom. Not only was he a medical doctor, Neil Aggett was also an avid trade unionist who was trying to ensure that the freedoms and justices of the ordinary worker was upheld. And this is one of the biggest reasons why the police state at the time took him and arrested him, because they wanted to find out from him what information he had. He was beaten, he was assaulted, electrocuted, he was starved in the 70 days that he was incarcerated here. And his family wants to know what went wrong and why the police why the police allowed him to lead to his death. And they want to know the true answer. Did Neil Aggett commit suicide, or was it more sinister than that? With that, it's back to you in the studio.